So due to some scheduling, not errors, but events, the next week or two might be a bit stormy, for good or for bad. But as we see, Cthulhu Cult and 2 Custom Mystery. Cthulhu Cult random item stats A. And we said we are gonna do Gyaru once more because, hey, we also fixed the files. I'll say that right as the next timestamp starts. But yeah, let's get into it. I think it was 7. Oh no, Kira's Birthmark. I'm just gonna say Kira's Birthmark. 7th Curse is quote unquote easier, quote me, but we'll see what happens. So, as we actually get into, oh my goodness, let me get this cough out of the way. That's Harold. As we actually get into Cthulhu Kira's Birthmark character exclusive random item custom character, and yeah, we're playing the character again. Hey, we fixed an ETO file because it's odd because I went down to the bottom of the mod thread. Again, if you're in the official World of Horror, you'll know Charisma, Knowledge, Second Encounter, Second Mystery, Toxicon, Baby Dexterity check. Again, just in case there's anyone new watching, the official World of Horror Discord has a mods repository forum, I guess I'll say. I think there's a more accurate phrase. But the mystery I was using has a thread of posts, and I usually look at like the bottom batch of posts to make sure I don't miss anything. But the fix to the ETO file for the boss, which had 4 HP previously, was already released, and I didn't notice that. So, shrug. Actually, I'm still not gonna go for that. I would use Ancestry. Actually, yeah, for the sake of kicks, we do this, I think. We get our reason back. We double get our reason back, but... And then the other thing I was gonna say is, that wasn't in the timestamps, is on top of the weird scheduling for the next week or two. Yeah, again, if... I know I say this, but in the next 24 hours, certainly, if you see other videos come out that are not the second game I'm playing on this channel, then, yeah, it's gonna be a short video, but we'll see. Ward, Kana, Metamorphosis, oh goodness, no muting, Frogs, and Notations. I think Notations and Frogs are relatively safe. Actually, no, we're trying to prioritize Labyrinth, so we'll replace Frogs with Labyrinth, but then we have Notations. So, we grab Kana immediately. We can let go of Kana, so it's a good thing I have my 3 damage kicks, but... that's not going to save me if bad things happen. Usually I mute, unless I feel it's not going to be so bad. By the way, flesh regrowth. But off we go after we, yeah, probably downtown. Forest as well. I'm going to do forest. Actually, no, downtown. I think downtown is worse with Labyrinth, because Labyrinth has a few downtown. I know we go to the apartments, but I'm thinking about downtown. Well, we're going to find out. So, my body. So as we smash the mirror, because we don't have anything better to do with our lives, yeah, let's continue moving onward. Again, we're going to save the students for last when we lose Kana. Whether or not it's going to be successful, that was a really lucky knowledge check, by the way, but... Ow, my hand. My wires are kind of stripped around because I had to do some redecorating, question mark? Hold on. Oh! I had to do some readjustment of my setup. But as we get the Twisted Corpse and my kicks, 3 damage kicks don't matter. Anyway, I guess we will throw the Vanity Mirror. Also note that we didn't need to have the Vanity Mirror equipped to do this, but hey. So we get 6 damage, and no matter what the Twisted Corpse does, we're okay. Now, we do get branded, but thankfully we have the old coin to deal with that. Because, yeah, that would be really, really bad. If we assume branded has a 25% proc rate, and we take average RNG, not including my own, and we do have Survivor's Guilt, but branded, I think, is the more dangerous one early in a run. So, assume there are 7 investigations and a mystery. We have 4 mysteries left. We're being really lenient here, by the way. As we fight a dentist. But, essentially, you have 28 investigations and 25%. If branded procs 25% of the time, then you take about 7% doom. Which is currently less than... which is less than Survivor's Guilt from the very beginning. But if you get really unlucky, or you have a longer mystery, and branded continues to proc, then it does more damage than Survivor's Guilt, Samurai Guilt. Survivor's Guilt, which does 10 doom, I believe, unless there's some weird wonky calculations. Let's grab the students, by the way. We only have 7 charisma, but as long as nothing weird... So, this is a very specific time in which I should... Again, I'm going to keep going back to it, because I should be doing it more. If for no other reason than to... kind of look at things, but we can spend, do we? The very small RNG here is that if we don't level up And we need some. Now, we get 9 charisma, never mind. We got really lucky there. But out of everything that could have happened, we got really lucky. Let's also grab the allies from the illegal den while we're here. There is a hospital pass. I forgot about that because we have Ward. I think we actually have Ward in this run. So hopefully the ring sells for funds. It does not. Hopefully the hospital pass isn't 3 funds, and it is. So, I mean, we're going to grab allies anyway. So we can't afford to do that. But even, yeah, although this is costing me a lot of doom, it is still worth it to grab these allies and then grab the hospital pass. Ryuichi is nice if we happen to grab more funds, but we'll see if that actually happens. So this is, yeah, this is a kind of fortunate. 55% we'll go for it. If we miss both of these, though, I'm going to be very sad. Okay, good. 2 all, but we get to lower doom by 3, which is the current worry at the moment. We can also equip this patina ring because I think this character has improvise, so we can get more damage. But as we also grab Kana here and lose 3 reason, it's well worth it. Hey, my body. And so if you're listening or watching or both this far into the video, as OBS freaks out in the background, which scared me for a moment, yeah, it's the game I'm developing. You might see it's going to be a little test video, not a test video, but it's going to basically be, I mean, if you make a video on a channel about the game you're making on the channel that you own, I fail to see how it isn't a promotion, or it has to be a promotion, but I think the double negative here makes sense. So it's going to be me basically going through some tests, and we'll see when it actually, because I threw it up on itch.io, but it's not released yet. And for those who don't know what that means specifically, it means that it's not viewable by anyone else, even though I've said it public, because there's again, like I said, there's a little phase in between of I was thinking about the hospital pass and going through, but there's a phase in between and where your game goes through a quality check, which is what happened about a month or 2 ago, and it didn't pass through. So I was like, oh, okay. Unless I just made a wrong setting, but that allowed me to kind of ruminate / think / double back. And as I said a month or 2 ago, I had to throw everything out because I realized it was not what I was developing was not going to be feasible. Specifically, there was a certain mechanic that I was doing in battle, and I decided it was a bit convoluted, or there's too many. It was too complicated for what I really wanted to do, and it's not that there was a simpler. There is probably a simpler way of doing it. Basically, it was an ATB system. It was an ATB system, but I decided that was not going to be quite as feasible as I thought, especially since certain plugins updated. So. But that when a plugin does update, usually doesn't cause many, not contradictions, I'm forgetting the word at the moment. Also, we're fighting a lot of things here. Also, rolling high on this ally attack would allow me to get out, but the game is just deciding no, doesn't want to do that. So, yeah, we actually need to get rid of this. We'll take the reason hit because we're going to fight the friend now. Now, my question is, do we get to do stuff? Kind of, maybe? Oh, I should have leveled up beforehand. Did I level up as I entered this fight? Anywho. Well, we didn't. So, instead we do this. I was about to say, okay, I would have missed the handcuff tech there, but hey. Let's level up now before anything weird happens. And yeah, we didn't get fame. Okay, so this character has Obsessive Shopper and fame. I think it's fame and improvise, so I'm still going to get improvise if I'm looking for it, but we're obviously going to prioritize fame. And if it isn't obvious why, we're running ally attack, and fame makes you faster based on the number of allies you have. That being said, our doom is quite high, but we have to rest if we need to. We do have flesh regrowth, but that's not going to save me. Yakitori, is this a reason for stamina? It is. Okay, so we're going to put this in our mouth. Have I eaten yakitori before? Like, actually yakitori? But anywho, let's take the experience and get sucked into Katana Land and get a katana for our trouble. So, I was willing to lose the 3 stamina. Period. That's the end of the sentence. But as we enter this next encounter, So my question is, what is our accuracy? It's not as great, but if Gambler's Fallacy, if we miss the previous ally attacks, we're gonna hit the both of these. I mean, it's a fallacy, but for some reason I feel it's rooted in a kind of truth, although it's really not. Because if you flip a coin once, well, yeah, if you flip a coin once, that does not affect the outcome of the second time you flip a coin. But however, if you say, hey, how many am I gonna flip heads twice when I flip a coin twice? There's a 25% chance of that. So in a way, it is connected, but it's also not connected. It's high time I should probably refresh my knowledge into the thingamajiggy. Also, I realized that I didn't heal, but we have flesh regrowth, so yeah, we can't one-shot this encounter anyway. We have Kana with us, but we can't one-shot this encounter. Now, if I miss both of these ally attacks, well, hey, but we'll do this because we don't know. We also have a Katana with us, so thankfully, if we do miss both of those attacks, we can just swing this Katana really hard. I think, yeah. This should do at least 17 damage, and we do 17 damage, then yeah. Anywho, I forgot why it does 17 damage, or did we get bonus? No, I don't know. I would like to reroll, but that's not going to happen, I guess. So we keep taking Charisma, question mark? No, we're going to take Knowledge just in case. Both for an event, maybe, question mark, and also for if we lose Knowledge. But we're going to take Labyrinth now, because I think Labyrinth is going to be safer than Notations. Yeah, Notations, I think you just run to the forest, although it is a forest investigation. But we do have forest investigations in that case. But we'll see. I don't remember how many forest investigations we do. 10 strength. At least nothing happened, question mark? Or is that a Labyrinth event? I don't remember. Again, so I'm only going to say this because someone pointed it out, because I didn't know if it was a stylistic choice, but Labyrinth, is there supposed to be a Y there? I mean, in normal English language, and again, the creator could be a non-English creator, I completely forgot. That's why I always give benefit of the doubt there too. But benefit of the doubt, is that correct? Anywho. Basically, there's a typo here, but again, I'm only saying it because someone pointed it out, and I just don't want any misunderstandings in between, well, two different people, essentially. Take the right door. Nope. And off we go. We do visit downtown a few times, I think. But as we take a peek here and deal with what we do, we just can't roll well. Anywho. We go for the... actually, do we even need to do that? No, we don't. We get 28 damage, which is better than Katana. Or, sorry, 24 damage guaranteed, because I think the max we can do is 14 with ally attack, so hey. And into this encounter I go. So it's HP on top of HP, and also, yes, I did buff the base HP just as a kind of... just for funsies, which could end up hurting me a lot more than I think. And it probably is. Yeah, not getting fame here is kind of important, but we'll deal. So I think we can do this. So we get 28 damage. If we do, it's great. If not, so be it. But I think we still get to do that. We get mind wiped again. And I really, really want fame. However, I think wait, this is a reason, right? Yeah, it's a reason. Okay, we can afford to. Well, it's going to be tough also, I realize. Okay, well, because we can't Desperate Struggle ally attack, for those who don't know. So we go for the 90%. And off we go. I think the reason... So, if I had to guess, because I think certain templates of custom enemies start with 4 HP. Anywho. I don't even want to reroll, so... As great as it would be to take Improvise, Quick Thinking is actually just a better pick there, in my opinion. Although Improvise does have its uses, so let's take Notations and go in. Funny enough, we do have 76% in Doom, but... And I always forget if that combat damage is real. I guess we're gonna find out. I'm sure it would be weird if that affected ally attack, but we'll see. And that's right, that's a charisma check. For some reason, I think that specific event is a perception check. Although it could proc STE, so theoretically speaking, that event can just go downhill as well. But it's the reverse. That's a Doom, but hey, and Monument. Stamina. We needed to ask for stamina. It did not. Why did I lose reason there? What's going on? Well, hey, so I don't think this kills me, right? So we're just gonna use it to heal a little bit of stamina, but... Oh, we're losing 1 reason for investigations, question mark? Yeah. That's unfortunate. We have to rest now, at least once. And we cross our fingers, although with Survivor's Guilt, I think we die no matter what. We just got prescription pills, but I don't think that's gonna save me. Unless we get to Lower Doom somewhere. And that doesn't seem to be the case, so Monument again. Well, there's a stamina, but we don't have flesh regrowth anymore. Not that we can really use it much longer. Also, Forest Investigation, I realized, but... Here's hope. I know I'm trading off stamina, and yeah. But at this time, I think I break even if I just visit the police station, so there's no point. But we can smack other enemies as much as possible before we lose the run. So yeah. I think it would have been interesting to have done a thing. Did Survivor's Guilt hit me there? I'm going crazy, aren't I? Anywho. So something I can do... Excuse me. Aside from healing stamina there, is if we can sell anything for funds, we can use Ryuichi, question mark. But still, though. Do we have the 6th floor, by the way? Okay, we don't. Charisma, knowledge, second, and I forgot my seconds, by the way, but we can actually survive this lighthouse. I just forgot everything, so whoops. Well, here's hoping I remember, because otherwise I probably have to sell something. I can probably sell the katana and be perfectly fine, actually. Yeah, so let's use Ryuichi a little bit. Actually, let's just go through and see what happens first. Yeah, with the handcuffs, I shouldn't need the thingamajiggy, but I should have also just kept the katana with me, but I don't remember if you can sell your weapon during the thing. Okay, so we fought the Twisted Corpse first because I was complaining about ghosts. Who did I fight after that? I didn't fight anything else during Kana, right? Could have been the Stalker Girl, actually. I think it was the Stalker Girl. Nope. So yeah, here we use Ryuichi and cross our fingers and hope we don't die. So use... No, 2. We need a bit more, that's right. No, 2 funds, that's right. I am going crazy. Well, that's what I get for being me. We get to sell funds here, but let's see if we can sell more. No, this patina ring only sells for nothing. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's other stuff I could have done. And that's unfortunate. But, if we can grab funds somewhere else, that would be nice. I don't think we can, though. Because these are all charisma, luck, kana, other stuff. Ewa for strength, but I don't think we can sell this hospital pass. The handcuffs we can also not sell. We can. But I don't think we can sell anything else. So yeah, I basically just sold that for no reason. But hey, that's me. Hey, I can at least remember my second encounter, which was Ward. So it must have been a doctor in Ward, because then we fought Stalker Girl later. But anywho, hey, I'll see you in the next video. We can do Labyrinth more!